This program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
You are now watching the Alan and DJ show.
Yo, man. What up, y'all? What up, Sun Prairie family, friends, and the Alan and DJ fans out there? Welcome to the Alan and DJ TV show program. And that's from all southern regions of Wisconsin and all around the world, so on and so forth. And of course, I'm your boy, Alan.
And this is your boy, DJ.
DJ was popping, man.
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Man. I'm finna knock Rambo the deer out. And why I said I'm gonna knock Rambo the deer out was because me and Bambi all in our business, worrying about what we got going on and this and that. And I said, you know what, you need to shut your mouth, man, because you're being too judgmental. And I don't like that, because when people act too judgmental, it makes me just, you know what, calm down, Alan. Calm down. Because that's what we could talk about today.
Okay. Let's do it.
Let's talk about how to become less judgmental. Rambo the deer, I hope he's watching this show. Bambi, you need to check your brother, because me and him will have a problem. But without further ado, we finna kick it to you the way the Alan and DJ show is a custom of kicking it to you. So without further ado, let's talk about it, DJ. Bullet point number 1. Don't blame yourself. And I know what they're thinking. What do you mean don't blame yourself? Well, we finna get it to you. We finna kick it in. So DJ, explain that. What do you mean by don't explain yourself when you becoming less judgmental?
When it comes down to that bullet point, like, people feel at fault, like, with themselves because, like, they wasn't being honest with the other person. And like, I'm gonna kick the bucket off to Al, and then I'm gonna give y'all an example of like what I'm talking about.
Okay. So, well, what I mean by don't blame yourself, when you're trying to become less judgmental, like, when you listen to somebody's conversation or, somebody telling you something and, you don't want to come off as too judgy, right? So, sometimes, you can't blame yourself for trying to give the right advice. Like, well, okay, I hear what you're saying, but with all due respect, I wouldn't have did it that way, and this is why. And sometimes, like, you have to mirror possible reasons for another's behavior. And we might get into a defense argument. And that's normal because you might not see things my point of view, and then I might not see things from your point of view. And that can low-key sometimes put a pause on how we act as individuals. So sometimes I might say, you know what, this conversation ain't getting anywhere. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Sometimes you have to do that because you're trying not to put like the blame on yourself for feeling some type of way for telling you the truth. Sometimes you have to say, hey, you know what? You're not gonna always like what I say, but I wouldn't be a friend if I didn't tell you. So if you're telling me something personal, and you know what I'm saying, like I can say, hey, dog, with all due respect, I thought that you was wrong in that situation.
Absolutely.
Man, that's what you mean, brother. What you mean, brother? Hey, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was wrong. So that's what I mean by that.
Absolutely. Like, an example of this would be like when I talked earlier about like people feel at fault. Like, an example of this would be like, let's say that lady looked bad in the dress, and I think like she looked bad in the dress, and I don't go and tell her that she looked bad in that dress, and she go out and people say she looked bad in that dress.
Yep.
But you feel like you're at fault because as a good friend or whatever, or a good person, you should have told them that, but you didn't tell them that. So that's what I meant when I said that.
Exactly. So, like, always want to say when you get to situations like that, unless, like when DJ just made that point, then you wrong, then, man, maybe, you can blame yourself, but you can't blame yourself for always telling the truth neither. Yep. Say, hey, like, I just don't like that wig. I don't think that look right on you.
Yeah.
And then she all tripping and stuff. Now, what, you gonna blame yourself? I'd rather for me to tell you the truth than you go out here and have 7 other people tell you that, hey, like, that dress look hideous on you.
Yeah.
So, you don't want to do that. And then bullet point number 2, though, like this is a serious one. Be mindful.
Absolutely.
And DJ, why should people be mindful when it comes to like being like less judgmental?
Because like you could actually hurt people's feelings by what you say, and depending on what you say, it can impact somebody's life.
Totally agree. You know, like being mindful. Although sometimes, you know, you could tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell the person how you feel and whatever the case may be. But, you know, you have to try to think before you speak, because you don't want to say the wrong things, or you don't want to say something nasty that you know what I'm saying you can't take back. And sometimes, like, you have to see if you can understand maybe where that person is coming from and their point of view. So if we arguing about a particular situation, you can say, dang, you know what, Dirty, I see why you probably felt that way, because I think I probably would have had too. Mm-hmm. Not that you have to change your stance on anything, but you can say, man, I see why you probably felt that way. And, you know, just try to, like, rephrase your, how can I say, like sometimes I try to be critical on when you try to, like, rephrase your comments, because certain comments can be very hurtful.
Absolutely.
So try to think of, like, the most positive ones and the least neutral ones. And after that, you know, you'll start seeing, like, this person's behavior. Like, either it's going to be, okay, like, we can agree or we can agree to disagree. Yep. But I have to be mindful of how you feel in this situation as well. And
like, it's crazy, because, like, we also got to be mindful of, like, why they did that, of the situation too that they're in. Like, and also be mindful of, like, why they did that because of that situation. Meaning, like, maybe the situation that they were in is the reason why they had to act the way that they had to act, or to be the way that they had to be, or to dress the way that they had to dress. And you not being mindful, I mean, you have to be mindful of that, because maybe if you was in that situation, you probably would have did almost identical the same thing.
Right. So, okay. That's like that's like judging somebody, right? Like, she a stripper. I just don't know how she's just so nasty and this and that. But you might have been governed by mommy and daddy your whole life. She probably had to go get out there and get how she lived. How you know she's not in school full time?
Yeah.
And she's doing what she got to do to get some money, so she won't have to ask you for anything. So that's what I mean by, like, stop being so judgmental and be mindful before you say anything. And bullet point number 3 is what I want to talk about too. Try to depersonalize. Mm-hmm. So when we say depersonalize, when someone, like, disagree, or someone, like, somehow makes a situation feel difficult, try to remember typically it's not about us. It's not always about you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it may be about the pain or the struggle on why people are not giving you the benefit of the doubt, because you don't know what people are going through.
Absolutely.
So never try to underestimate a person's pain, or never try to underestimate a person's feelings. Or everyone struggles with something, but some people are better knowing how to hide it from others. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean by, don't try to, like, depersonalize people or put them down, or be so quick to just say, oh, man, he just a whole bum, he a loser and this and that. But you don't know, this person could be going through the worst and probably got a real good way of hiding it. And then sometimes, like, you have a conversation with that person and you think that person just a jerk, or they so mean, or, man, I don't know why my boss hate me, he do me so wrong and this and that. But when you have a conversation with somebody, like, you ever been through those situations, they be like,
yeah,
man, Dirty, not that bad.
Yeah.
Or man, like, oh, girl, not that bad. I had her plagued out wrong. That's because you judge them before you even get a chance to know them.
Absolutely. And, like, people make it about themselves by personalizing the situation, meaning that when they make the judgment call about, like, how they is and how they look and all that, is based on your personal assumptions and not based on facts and reality.
No, that's so true. You know, that's why I say, you know, like, when you go into certain situations like that, you know, like, just try to always remember, if I'm listening to you, I can always say, well, this is what I did, or 1992 when I did this, and then it's not about you, dude. It's not about you, dog. It's about me. I'm asking you to give me some advice, and you turn it into you. Yep. So, you know, just try to be mindful that it's not about you. You know what I'm saying? And bullet point 4, man, just try to look for the basics and goodness in people.
Absolutely.
So DJ, take us home with that one, Dirty. Break that down for the people who might not understand what I mean by that.
Basically, like what Al trying to say is like when you look for like the goodness in people, basically it makes you overlook their actual flaws.
Yeah, because sometimes like we awfully take time to just look at a person and you quickly just judge them.
Yep.
Oh man, like look at dude, like he look fruity, or look at man, look at her, like, she doing too much. She finna go out there and just hit the town tonight. And instead of just, and this take practice in our minds. It's not gonna happen overnight. But you might say, man, you know what? Even though she got that outfit on, ain't feeling the outfit, she did smell good, or she did carry herself in a conductive manner. That's what I mean by try to look for the basic goodness in people.
Absolutely. And like an example of this too is basically like like I'm gonna bring up the woman's dress again. Like a woman's dress, even though it might look hideous on her, and you think that it looks hideous on her, yep, other people might not view it that way. Like or the red in that particular outfit or her dress might bring out the color in her eyes, and she might be able to pull it off as opposed to somebody else pulling it off.
That's what I mean by, what I'm saying, like when you dealing with somebody and first thing I'm saying, oh man, it's like dude, no, he look mean, bro. Look at dude. Or, man, he think he know it all, but then you might say, dang, you know what though? Even though I might not like his actions or the way he acting, that brother is intelligent, it's teaching you how to look for the basic goodness in people in general, instead of being so quick to just think negative. And that's not gonna happen overnight. I'll be the first to tell you, you have to practice that. It takes time. Mm-hmm. And then once again, and I love this bullet point, reframe. Try to refrain from thinking negative, man. Like
absolutely.
When someone does something to you, like perhaps, let's say for an example, they think that you're just simply trying to solve a problem in a different way than you normally would. Or maybe like the timetables that you do, it may help them be more open-minded to accepting behavior situations. So what I mean by that is like when somebody is like so quick about to get ready to judge somebody, just try to reframe yourself from that. Be like, you know what? Let me try to understand this person real quick before I go on this already thinking this about this person, because that'd be unfair of me. Or, okay, I know she did wrong, but let me get some clarity in this situation. Like, let me listen to what you actually got to say to me, because this might help me better understand why you probably did what you did.
And also with reframing, like I'll give y'all a couple like methods that people can follow on how to reframe yourself from a situation. Like basically what you want to do is like notice the judgment, meaning like be aware of your judgmental tendencies.
Yeah.
And that's key. And then also number 2, explore the origin of your judgment. And use descriptive language, meaning that you need to, what it does is like when you use descriptive language, it basically helps you focus on the facts and reality and not assumptions.
Man, you could have said that no better, because people often do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yep. Let's say, like let's say y'all at a birthday party, table, everybody got candles, everybody drinking, everybody eating good, candlelight dinner, all that good stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody doing good, everybody doing their thing, and then you always gonna have somebody kick off something. I really don't like you, and I don't like you neither. And here it go, you know what I'm saying? But if I know that I got some beef with you, or we not seeing eye to eye on some things, let me try to reframe that for the moment, mm-hmm. and let me be happy for my dirty DJ.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't got to do this here, is what I mean. So, people, like, that's when, like, you have to stop letting the judgmental side take over. Mm-hmm. Or, somebody be saying something, I beg to differ, and this is why. Dirty, I ain't asked you for your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you too opinionated.
Absolutely.
Now you start becoming opinionated. And when you become opinionated, now you're going to start turning to being judgmental.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not doing what you want me to do or what you think that's best for me to do.
Absolutely.
So, man, you got to kill that.
Yeah.
And then, bullet point 7, DJ, tell people to look at their own behaviors.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, we got to understand that we're not perfect and we're not God, but we do judge people as if like we are gods. And we need to sit back and actually question our own behaviors because we're not perfect either. So if God doesn't judge us, then
Exactly.
why are we out here judging other people?
Because sometimes, and I believe we're all guilty of this, like sometimes we may be judging someone for something that we have done ourselves. Ooh, say that again now. Sometimes we might be judging someone for something that we have done ourselves. We all have done it. For an example, somebody driving poorly.
Mm-hmm.
And you have had driving poorly before too when you first had started driving. So, you sitting there yelling at this person and you judging their driving skills, but that's because you do it. Or sometimes like the way that person eat or the way that person's mannerisms might be, that's because you probably do it on the low too.
Mm-hmm.
And, like you coming off as judging their behavior, but my dirty, you need to take a look in the mirror and go look at your own self. So like they say, you need to take the speck out of the other person's eye, and sometimes you need to put it into your own eye. So it's meaning like stop judging people's backyards until you got your backyard clean.
Absolutely.
Because who am I to talk about you?
Absolutely. And then it's I got an example too. Basically, this example is like you watch all these celebrities and like how successful they is, and then all of a sudden you see how much they make, and then you see like they end up being poor. Mm-hmm. What's the first thing like people think? Like they think like, if I had $30 million, like what, I wouldn't have blew it like he did. How do you know that? Like you're not in this situation. You don't know what he had to do to get that money. You don't know what he had to do to lose that money. Exactly. So you can't judge that person's character based on what the media is telling you.
And then also too, the more money you make, the more bills you have to pay.
Absolutely.
People not looking at that. Like you want to live in this big old gigantic house, you know what I'm saying? And you can't say what you wouldn't do. That stuff costs to keep up.
Yeah.
Then you got a payroll if you're paying other people's bills, your mom, dad, you take care of your family, you taking care of your grandma, you making sure everybody eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
That costs thousands of dollars. Not saying you're paying for 12, 13 people's cell phones. You know what I'm saying? People, so you gotta easily say yes. Like I can see how that person went, bro. You trying to make sure everybody got a car. You trying to make sure everybody good, dirty. Like I can see that.
Yep.
So with that being said, like you can't say what you want to do. Man, if I had these amount of millions, I want to blow it. Yes, I would invest my money better. But see, that's why I say like try to reframe your mindset to say, man, like how did that person get there? Dang, man, that's messed up. I think if I had that type of money, what I probably would have did was maybe made more better investments.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you see a homeless person, man, he got there, he must have effing up in life and he messing up and woo-woo. No, sit down and take time to talk to them and see how they might have got to that situation. Like they might have lost it all by a simple divorce.
Yep.
So, just try to be mindful, man. And last bullet point, man, educate yourself.
Absolutely.
Educate yourself on dealing with judgmental people.
Absolutely. It's crazy because like when you educate yourself, the more you educate yourself with the situation and other people, the less judgmental you are because now you don't have a particular stance on that issue. Now you can see it from like this side, you can see it from this side, you can see it from this side, you can see it from behind you. Now you can see it from all angles.
No, facts. Like when you educate yourself, like when people do, let's say some things that can be very like annoying, right? Mm-hmm. Or judgmental. They may have some type of like hidden disability that you don't know anything about.
Absolutely.
And let me give you an example of that. For an example, these people may have poor social skills. They may have Asperger syndrome, that's invading your personal space, or someone with that type of syndrome maybe like remember again that, hey, it's not about you. You know, every situation is not about you, because that's a disability. Anything that you say, yeah, because I remember when I was 20 and it happened to me. Okay, sometimes it's cool, but you turn everything about you, you got to remember it's not about you. Or, you know, they might judge a fish by the ability, like, of the way this fish climbed the tree. And, you know, like, they not even, sometimes it just sounds stupid, like dirty. Like, dude, like, man, did you just said, man? Like, bro, of course the turtle's supposed to go slow. Yeah, but it's going too doggone slow. And I'm like, see, once again, you're being judgmental.
Absolutely.
So, you know, let's try to reframe ourselves out of that mindset, man. Let's try to, you know, like, the best way I can say it is, like, you know, like, let's just try to change who we are as a person and as an individual. Because if I'm dealing with somebody who's too judgmental or too opinionated, I'm not going to want to be around you.
Yep.
That'll be the quickest way to push me away.
Yep.
But without further ado, man, let's give him to Alan and DJ's final thought. DJ, what's your final thought on how to deal with somebody to become like less judgmental?
Basically, like when you become less judgmental, like it's easier to like go through life as opposed to you judging people, because I had to like learn this too. And the more like I judge people, the more I was walking on eggshells, because I was scared that people was gonna judge me. So in order to avoid that, I had to like reevaluate myself and look in the mirror and be like, hey, I'm not perfect either. So I need to look at my flaws and work on my flaws. And while I'm working on my flaws, understand other people's inabilities and flaws as well. And that's when I was able to come to the realization that, hey, like we all not perfect, man. And I need to stop judging people, because like if I'm dishing it out, and I can't take it, then I don't need to dish it out in the first place.
Fair enough, man. Now, once again, you know, just try to look for the goodness in people. Like, let's stop being so quick to think the negative in that person, or because that person dressed a certain way, that person is whatever you want to call them. You know what I'm saying? A prostitute or whatever. You don't know people's background. They could be a multi-millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try not to always judge a book by its cover. And before you judge somebody else's behavior, look at your own behavior. Look at yourself. Because you was probably there at one point too. So, you know, you got to remember that and try to give people the benefit of the doubt. And once you start doing that, you'll start feeling so good about yourself. And when you start feeling so good about yourself, then you just became the very best version of yourself. Now, this is the Allen and DJ Show. You'll find the Allen and DJ Show at gmail.com. Please hit us if you have any questions about what you want us to talk about next. Hit me at the Allen and DJ Show on our fan page with over 10,000 plus growing followers. Also, the Allen and DJ page on YouTube. Follow us, subscribe. You won't miss a beat. You'll love whatever you're hearing. We got shows for anything that any person's going through. And you can also find my personal page, Alan Hutchinson, on Instagram and Facebook, and my Dirty William J. Smith on Instagram and Facebook. And until next time, stop becoming judgmental and become less judgmental. And reframe and think before you say. Because you know why? You'll be well, you'll be healthy.
Peace.